Fat Finger Squad in the building. What it do, baby? Today's lab is lab number 66, configuring pool-based port address parent translation, or PAT, if you want to call that for short. Today's lab, we got S Smooth in the building. What's up, S Smooth? I just had a deja vu moment right there. I remember calling your name out, walking to the door, and yelling Brooklyn in the house, or shouting you out. But yeah, I know what it is. It seems like we do this over and over, because we are using the same topology today, so it's starting to feel like Groundhog's Day, right? However, today, if you guys know, if you were joining the Discord server, you would have got this quick little hint here. But I am going to skip the configuring the host names and the interface, the IP addressing and the SVI and all of that. So this lab has 9 tasks, right? I've already done tasks 1 through 5. So for the live stream, we only got to do tasks 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that's it. You know, like I said, like all that other stuff is boring and tedious stuff. Hopefully, you guys know how to configure an IP address, interface, create a VLAN, and those simple things like that, right? If not, then go back to my other streams, because it's kind of like moving along today. So today we are going to be PS. Shout out to PS. What's going on, man? Today we're going to be configuring pool-based port address translation. So let me go ahead and bring up the topology. I'm here, bro, trying to be great in this field. That's what's up, man. And I'm glad you are tuned in. We do this Monday through Thursday. That easily rolls off my tongue. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll give me a second here. Get my little caffeine going too. Y'all know the first couple, like 5 to 10 minutes, we wait till a couple people tune into the stream here, so I'll give it a little bit of time. Today, we only got, let me see if I got that topology in here. Nat. Yep, this same one that we did the other day, right? So if you got even G or GNS3 or whatever, go ahead and drag and drop 2 routers. Pick a different color and a different brush. Thickening the brush, and let's go with I guess we'll go with green today. I made it thick, right? So router 1, the book says router, the book actually says router 2, so this is actually router 2. I know it says 3 here, but you know, I was copying and pasting this from the old guide, and they fixed that. So as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that. Because they did fix it. They did fix it. So just to get out of confusion here, we still gonna give some time to for some people to log on here, so, or tune into the stream here. So let me go ahead and copy that. Copy. Y'all give me a second here. Once again, shout out to Osiris for passing his CCNA yesterday, man. Appreciate him for letting us know that he passed it, and he used my videos that helped him with the wireless portion. So one day I'll go back to doing those tutorials again. It's just, y'all know, I've been having a lot of fun doing these live streams, man. So do that. So shout out to him once again for passing that exam. So there you go. We got router 2 now, right there, right? Just in case anybody get confused. And again, I've already done the IP addressing, so I'm gonna give you guys some time to kind of, you know, configure that IP address, etc. Where the brush at, man? Come on, man. This thing, Jesus. Brush. There we go. So go ahead and configure that IP address, this IP address, do the clocking. Hopefully you got the book too. And now I really need to get the book now, because it's kind of like, you know, how in class you used to try to, in college, you used to kind of, you know, try to skate by without using the book for the first couple weeks or whatever. Well, now you really need a book, because I'm skipping all this other stuff now. So once again, not everybody tunes in right at 8 o'clock, so I give it some time. Vanguard investment tips. This man really looking at my was that my background there or something? Yeah, man. I gotta try. I'm trying to get into investing, man. You know, I said 2021 was gonna be my year of investments or investing. You know, I usually just take my money and not throw it away, but excuse me, stick it under the mattress kind of thing. But yeah, I'm trying to get into do some more investing, man. You know, since I started working as an engineer, became making a little bit more money and stuff like that. So I got to start investing my money. So yeah, excuse me, man. I'm just again 8 tasks today, right? 9 tasks, 8 tasks, 9 tasks. How many tasks? Either way, task 1 through 5 has already been done. I did the labeling and cabling already. As a matter of fact, yesterday we did router 1 and router 3. Today, I noticed in the book they actually did router 1 and router 2. I don't know why they actually like to trip us up with that, but yeah, it actually is router 1 and router 2 today. And so I turned off my router 3 and unplugged up router 2. Yes, I do have actual hardware. So for anybody that's over here like, this man actually uses hardware and routers and switches and stuff like, yes, I do. I just like it. I just like tinkering with stuff. I'm a physical guy, so. I'm gonna give you guys some time. We'll start at about 8:10 for some people to tune in. Not everybody tunes in right at 8 o'clock. For you guys that are just tuning in for the first time, this is the lab guide we typically use. So typically what I'll do is I'll go through the whole lab and show you how to configure an IP address and show you how to create VLANs and the simple tedious stuff that we end up having to do for the past couple labs. And this got 101 labs, right? But it's starting to become tedious now, and hopefully if you're that's been watching, like how do I say, not faithful subscriber, I don't want to say that. If you've been watching this lately, you'll pretty much know how to do that stuff by now, right? So I'm going to be skipping those first couple steps and jump right into what we need to do. So today we're doing port address translation, which was steps number 6 through 8 or 6 through 9, and get right where we need to get to. So those other things, hopefully you got the book. It's called 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You can get a copy of this from 101labs.net. There's also a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so I do get commission if you get it, and it helps out this channel when you do get it from there. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. That's why I love this book, because it gives us stuff in hand, practice the theory hands-on and stuff like that. And I've been going back. Before I started this channel, actually when I started this channel, I was actually studying for the CCNP exam, which is like one level above the CCNA exam, right? And I barely passed the route exam. I passed the switch exam. Yeah, I barely passed it, but I failed route twice before I actually passed it. And then I didn't have time to take T-shoot. So, I didn't want to just call myself a CCNP and try to take the other exam and then and not know a lot of stuff. So I went back, started going back to the fundamentals, and there's a lot of stuff that I learned from this book. And I'm just like, wow, how do I get a certification and not know some of this stuff? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm going back and, going through the fundamentals and bringing some people along here. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully you got your stuff labeled and cabled up. Remember, 2 routers and a switch. Go ahead and cable them bad boys up, whether you're using E52 or GNS3. And let's get to cracking here. Task 1 was to configure the host names. I've already done that. Task 2 was configure the IP addresses. I've already done that. Configure the interface VLAN, which is that guy, and then they said put this guy in VLAN 50. Get rid of all this stuff right here now. Right, so this is supposed to be in VLAN 50, that port right there. What else they wanted us to do? Make this right there his default gateway, right? That right there is going to be switch 1's default gateway, which we did. Task 5 was to test connectivity from router 1 to router 2, and then pinging from router 2 to switch 1. So that's the last task before I said, okay, now I can start streaming, right? So I'll go ahead and do that. Test basic connectivity, and then we'll get started, right? So they said test connectivity from router 1, this guy right here, to router 2, right? Just to make sure, which I think I already did, but ping 192.168.254.2. And we got a reply, so we didn't even have to pray to the network gods with that. Also, just to make it keep it a little funky, I made these 2 guys right here EIG IP neighbors, just to share the route. Remember the last couple streams I was using the static route? I said these 2 guys right here, this guy and that guy right there, I said, I'm going to just make them EIGRP neighbors and then have him share that route right there, right? This route right here. I'm going to have him share that route with him over there, right? Because he don't know about it. Router 1 don't know about this network right here. So I have him share it. I have router 2 share it using EIGRP. And that's what I just did. Just threw that in there and it worked. So, and as a matter of fact, we can test it again. So now I'm going to have router 1 ping switch 1. And that theoretically should let us know that switch 1 should be able to ping router 1, right? So he is 10.224, 10.2.2.4, and we got a reply. We can verify the neighbors with show IP EIGRP neighbors. So I'm gonna start doing that too, just to see if I can remember some of this stuff and kind of mix it up a little bit, right? So as you can see, it's been up for 33 minutes, so we're good to go there. Task 6, we only got 9 tasks, right? So really, technically, we only got 3 tasks, but there was 9 in the book. So that's why I said, yeah, now it's time for y'all to start catching up, and hopefully I got this book from now on. And if people ask, this is the reason why I've been skipping the first couple tasks, because some of that stuff has been simple. And if I do it this way, it'll shorten these live streams from, I had a live stream where I was doing it for 3 hours because I'm talking shit for a while, and then give a little bit of a lecture, and then do all the tedious stuff, and then get to the main topic, the bread and butter of it. But now I'm skipping all of that and jump right into it. Task 6 was to create an ACL, or access control list, to permit all IP traffic from the 10.2.2.0 subnet. So here's the 10.2.2.0 subnet right here. This 10.2.2.0 subnet. Permit all the traffic from it to the 192.168.254.0 subnet. So all the traffic from here needs to be able to go through here to this traffic right here, which we've already kind of tested that. But what they said here is create an ACL to permit all IP traffic from that subnet to that subnet. You can create either a named or numbered ACL to complete this task. So that should be simple enough. I think we know how to do access control list, right? If not, then just follow along. Or, ask in the group chat. And we have some smart people in the room that can help you guys out. So what we said, we're going to go to global config mode. We're not going to do it on router 1. We got to go to router 2 to do this, right? Because he is going to be, this is where the ACL is going to lie, right? So we go to global config mode. As a matter of fact, that's what they asked us to do, didn't it? That's what they asked us. Create an ACL to permit all our IP traffic. Yeah, so it has to be because that's that subnet. Now, they sit in between those subnets. So we know it's IP access list. We'll create a numbered one. And I'm going to name it, or number it, 165. I don't know why. I just feel like being random today. Nope, you can't do it that way, right? Is it, oh, you got to do it that way. So let's just do extended and then do the number, which I guess in this case 165. Right, and then because extended is from 100 to 199, right? We knew that already. And then once you do that, you'll be in extended numbered access control list configuration mode. There's so many funky names for these config modes. And then permit all the IP traffic. So basically, this looks like an IP any. So from any subnet, no, actually they say specifically from the 10.2.2.0 subnet to that subnet. So from this subnet to this subnet, we need to create an ACL going from here to there, right? ACL, right? So we said IP, what is it? Permit? No, you got to do permit first. The permit IP traffic. So any, right? What you got to do? IP? Yeah, I thought it was permit IP. And then, not any, we're going to say the source of 10.2.2.0 subnet, 2.2.0 subnet, wildcard bits of /27, which means it is, the last octet is 224, so what you got to do is 255 minus 224, that gives us the wildcard bit, that last interesting bit, right? 000.31, that's the wildcard bits for that. And then, the destination, right? So this was our source right here. So that means this is our destination, right? So the destination is the 192.168.254.0 subnet. That's exactly what they said, right? /29. So 192.168.254.0 subnet. 5-finger squad in the building. And then the destination wildcard bits. So it's a /29 subnet. /29 is not 240, but 248. So which means we got to do, what, 250... 5 minus 248, which should give us 7, right? .7. Let me verify that though, because I don't remember seeing a .7 before. Let me see. I gotta y'all know how crazy I am. Not crazy, but how obsessed I am with this shit. I actually have a CCNA TCP study chart on the damn wall in my room right here. Yes, this is my room. I have a rack in my room, and I'm gonna go over here and I see that the wildcard bits. Is it in here? I don't think I got it here. No, this is just cider notation. I'll take that back. But I could Google it. Nope, I could Google it though. So let's do that. Let's just Google it because I want to make sure I'm 100% right on this. So let's bring that up real quick. Bring that back. Bring that back. Bring that back. Y'all got any questions so far or anything like that? Anybody had questions? No such thing as a double question. We said we wanted the wildcard bits for wildcard mask for /29. So /29 wild card mask is what is the, how do you calculate your wildcard mask? Come on, man. Let me see. Let's just use this wildcard calculator. I guess that's it. Yeah, it is. That's it. That's it right there. 000.7. So I was right. Good. Good to go. Good to go. Good to go. So 000.7, and then what else they wanted? We this is basically what we want. Permit IP from that source to that destination. They didn't want anything else, so we should be good to go. Your wildcard can be 7. Yes, and it is. I just didn't know. I've never really seen it like that. I mean, yeah, but yes, I did know that you got to do 255 minus whatever the that octet is, and then that'll give you the wildcard mask. I just don't remember seeing 7 before. I guess I don't really know the wildcard masks by heart yet. Not yet, at least. But yeah, I was right on that. So press enter. That should be our access control list. Let's verify our work with show access lists, right? And we see we're going to permit any traffic from here to this traffic, right? That is the ACL we can trade it. So any traffic from here will go to this subnet. And we did that ACL like that, right? So that was task 6. Task 7, we only got 9 tasks. So 7 out of 9. If you're wondering why, what happened to task 1 through 5? Well, guess what? I did it off screen, and I'm going to be starting doing, like I said, I've been warning y'all over the past, I don't know, 20, 30 video live streams that I said, I'm going to be skipping the simple, tedious stuff, right? So, well, it might be simple for me because I've done it a million times, but, you know, if you need to know how to do the simple stuff like that, go back to the previous live streams and stuff like that. Or if you want, you can ask some questions in the chat room. I just might not be able to have time because I'm kind of learning this stuff at the same time and trying to teach at the same time too, what I do know. So, 1 less than the available host in the network. Oh, that's good to know. Didn't know that, but I did see on the wall there that it said 8 hosts for this, but I don't know the hosts by heart either. So that's something else I need to work on. So, but I didn't know that. That's good to know. What he said, take that back. Oh, okay. He said take that back. You see, you throwing me off over here, man. Shit. It's all good though, Jason. Next task was to configure router 2. So this guy right here, that's router 2 right there, right? Go to router 2, make sure we're in him this time. The FA00 interface. So, basically kind of like what we did last video. So this needs to be, they want this to be the inside NAT interface. Inside NAT interface, right? And then he said S000, or in my case, it says 00, so this guy right here, mine is 00. They want to make this one the outside NAT interface, right? Y'all remember how to do that? If not, then just follow along. If you don't know how to go, what's that saying? I was from I got a rubber song about it. Like here you go. Interface FA00, if I can type FA00 IP NAT. This is going to be the inside interface, right? That's what we're doing right here, right? That's the inside NAT interface. Inside. Remember, it's going to create that NVI0 interface, which is remember that virtual interface, which I forgot what that stood for again. You know, the past 3 streams I've been having to Google that. And I'll let y'all see. It's what? Network virtual interface. NVI0 interface is the NAT virtual interface. The NAT virtual interface. That's what that created there, right? So remember, I didn't get to show y'all the interfaces. I didn't show y'all the interfaces, but I did it before live stream. These are how the interfaces look like, right? Right, 10.0.0 or 10.2.2, which is that guy right there. This guy. Right, and then we created a 192.168, that guy right there. Right, that's him. Y'all see that so far, right? And then after that, once we created that NAT inside, it created this IP interface 3, that NVI interface, NVI 0. And notice it has the same IP address as that, but like you said, Kelvin Tran, if y'all don't know, he has a YouTube channel as well. He's a pretty smart guy. He let us know that interface right there, it don't really, they try to make it so that way it does the translation and stuff like that. It doesn't really work it's not really intuitive, or it doesn't really work well. So that is why they took it out of the, I guess the other versions of iOS and stuff like that. So you might not see this in even G or GNS3. So what else we needed to do? We wanted to make this guy the outside interface, right? So let's go ahead and do that, right? Go to global config mode. We said interface serial 000, and we do IP NAT outside. How do we verify our work to find out who's the inside and outside? Yes, you can do show run and filter it down, right? You can do this, right? We try to stay away from show run, right? We want to know other show commands, right? So we do section, what you do, NAT to see it? No, yes, no, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. Cause see, this just says outside, inside, but who is what? So how do we do it? Let's say, see, that's not gonna filter it that way either. That's not gonna filter it that way either. So you got to do this: show IP NAT, not translations, but the other one, statistics. That's gonna tell you who's inside and who's outside. See that? You do show IP NAT statistics. That tells you, okay, 0.0.0, this guy right here. This guy is the outside interface, and then this guy right here is the inside interface, right? So he is the inside interface, right? Because this is the inside right here. This is our house, right? And this is outside, right? We let the dog out here, right? I don't know how to draw a dog, but let me stop fucking around. And what was task number 6? What else they wanted us to do here? No, that was task 6. We already did the ACL. We created the inside interface. We created the outside interface. Next, configure a pool called pat_ or pat-pool, all caps. So pat pool, P-A-T-P-O-O-L, to be used for pat translation. This pool should have both a starting and ending IP address of 192.168.254.4. Oh, a starting and ending. Use the same subnet mask as that of serial 00 for this pool. So we're going to create a 192. The starting and ending IP address is going to have this prefix, but it's going to be .4. Right? That's going to be our pool. So our pool, let me just go ahead and do that for y'all. Right? Just in case you ain't got the book. Y'all like them kids that trying to skimp on your tuition, and your not your tuition, but you paid for tuition, but you ain't get the book yet, right? You're just trying to make it through the end of the semester and see how far you can make it without the book. Trust me, I used to do that too. I know the struggle. The pool is going to start with and end with 192.168. I need one of those little tablets with the little pen, man. I know I do. Now that I'm actually teaching, or at least lecturing what I'm trying to do here. I don't really consider myself a teacher, but I mean, hey, a lot of people said that my stuff isn't helping them. But that's the starting and ending address, 254.4. That's what the pool is going to have, right? And we're going to name it Pat Pool, right? P-A-T. Pool. And y'all remember how to do the pool? Remember from the last couple videos? I don't either. And we're going to do it together, so let's do that. This pool should have both. That's going to be starting and ending address, right? 254.4. Use the same subnet mask as of that of 000 for this pool. So we need to have this subnet mask right here, /29. Y'all know what that is, right? That's 255.248. So let's go to global config mode, and we know it's going to be IP NAT. All of our NAT statements usually start with that. IP NAT, right? What we needed. We know we want to create a pool. Oh, look at that. This says pool. So that must be it right there, right? So let's go ahead and do pool. Oh, do we got to do inside and then, oh yeah, we got to tie it to that ACL though, don't we? No, we're going to do another statement. That's going to be task 8. So don't worry about that just yet. Create the pool first. So IP NAT pool. What we going to name it? They said to name it pat-pool. Y'all with me so far? Anybody have questions or anything? He said, take that back. Just got my book. Can we start from the beginning? Man, listen, Jason. I hope you're trolling me right now, because what I was saying, that's what I said. Like, I'm gonna be skipping the first couple steps because that's just like the tedious stuff, right? Creating the IP address and stuff like that. Creating these IP addresses and do the clocking. I've done this for the past, I don't know, 10 videos, man. Maybe 20, 25 videos I've been doing that. And I was hoping that you guys know how to do that so far. We know how to create VLANs. We've done all of this already. So that's why I've been skipping. I said I've been warning people I'm going to be skipping that stuff because it is really tedious. And my streams have been going an hour to an hour and a half. So I'm trying to skip from that. But yeah, you said IP Nat pool. That's correct, Pete. So Pat Pool. I'm sorry, Jason, but yeah, we're maybe 1 or 2 videos. I'll go back to doing the the easy stuff again. But like I said I was gonna skip all of that stuff because once we get to the really difficult stuff, we ain't got time to be doing creating host names and changing host names and just all that simple stuff, right? So we said the starting address was and the ending address was gonna be the same, which was this right here, 192, right? So he says right here, what's the starting IP address? 192.168.254.4. Question mark. He says, what's the ending address? Well, guess what? It's the same thing. So I can copy and paste at this point, right? Space, right? Question mark. And he says what? What's the network mask, or the prefix length? Well, they said in the book, he said, you say you good. All right, appreciate it, man. I mean, I'll go back if you really need me to, but like I said, and that's why, if you don't know, I kind of gave forewarning in the Discord server. So if you're not joined the Discord server, let me go ahead and put the invite there. We usually talk a lot of stuff off stream. And if I have any tips or if I'm going to cancel a live stream or anything like that, you can kind of get a heads up on the Discord server. It's on my cell phone. So if I'll be at work and I see somebody like, hey, I passed my exam. Thanks, NetworkBruh, for your videos. I'll get it immediately. So, hit up that Discord server and make sure you join, man. What we said. Where were we at? Oh, yeah, the prefix length. The prefix length we said was this, 29. So we could do either or. We could do net mask or prefix length. They're pretty much the same thing, but just this one is written in CIDR notation and one is written in like the regular Subnet mask, 255. Whatever. But in this case, I'm gonna do prefix length since it's easy to do that. Just do prefix length and then it's 29, right? That lets us know what that is, right? And that's pretty much it. That's how we create the pool. It's kind of like DHCP in a way. We press enter. If we do show IP, show our work, right? Show IP Nat, not translation, but statistics. And we'll see we don't see our pool here? No, we don't. I guess you don't see the pool here. I believe you got to see that in translations then. No, you don't see it in translations. Where do you see the pool? Other than show run. Show IP Nat translation? It's not going to be there. There's no Nat pool. Right? Question mark. You do NVI information. What do you do in NVI? I wanted to see what that is. 0? NVI. No. Incomplete. Statistics. Oh, you can do it that way. Yeah. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I did know. In a way. Because I think I remember I did that in a couple videos. But anyways, I wanted to see how many addresses are... this is pretty much one address. Because remember, that's the starting and address. They're the same. So, it says book wants a 240 mask. Really? Interesting. Because 240 would be /28. Right? Let me see. Because, let me see. I'm using the book. The book is page 297 in case you guys got the book. Hopefully you got the book. Lab number 66, right? Pool-based port address translation. And the book says same subnet mask as of that for serial 00, which is /29. So, I believe that's a 248, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pete. Y'all remember that like button if y'all like what y'all see so far, man. But before I move on, I'll let you guys verify that. But I think /29 will be, unless my subnetting is off. But I've been pretty much practicing that lately. So this right here is what they said we wanted our pool's subnet mask to have. I did /20. I did 29, which would technically be 254.254. I mean 255.255.248. There you go. Jason was correct. I think that's what it is, man. Unless you got an old or a different version of the book, Pete, let me know, man. I'm using version number 4. Version 4. There is a link in the description box below if you guys want to get the copy of the book, or you can go to 101labs.net. So task number, what was that? Where we at? Where they at though? We did a pool number. I mean, not pool number. We did a whole pool. All right. So task 8. We only got 9 tasks today. We almost done here, y'all. Configure PAT or port address translation, on router 2 to translate traffic in the specified ACL configured in task 6. So remember that ACL that we created that'll allow traffic from here to there, to this network, right? Remember that ACL we created? So we're going to create port address translation to allow this ACL configured in a pool named pat pool. So configure pat to translate traffic specified in ACL to the pool named pat pool. Okay, good. Then Mr. Browning made another mistake in the book. Do you have a hard copy of the book? Let me know, because this is page number 297, lab number 66. And in the book, he says, you said slash 240 mask, which would be 240. It would be 240. Got 240. I don't know where you got the 240 from. Or slash 20. You would have been, that would have been a slash 28. I don't see where you see a slash 28 or 240 in this book, man. So let me know what version of the book you're using. It's lab number 66, page 297 and 298. So maybe, I'm not doubting you though, but because there are some mistakes that we found in this book together, and y'all seen that too, right? So it's all good though. But hopefully he's watching. I'm gonna keep in contact with him and see if he could get me to sponsor this book. I mean, like officially sponsor it, and actually maybe do a giveaway and stuff like that. I said when I reach a certain number of subscribers, I was gonna do another giveaway, and I haven't really been, y'all know I hollered at both on NetSim, and they asked me for some information. They was like, oh, okay, yeah, great, yeah, we seen your channel, we like what you're doing, blah blah blah. Here's the form you're gonna send, here's the email. We'd like to give you which copy of the software that you want to use. I told them CCNA, and then I was like, this was like before I was like really starting the channel up, right? And then they hit me back, so I was like, all right, whatever. Boom, I had 1,000 subscribers. I was like, hey, look, man, I'm at 1,000 subscribers now. Y'all want to kind of like, whatever. Then I got to like, I don't know, like 2,000 or something. I was like, hey, I got about 2,000 subscribers now. don't come holler at me once I get like, a whole bunch of people. And I'm just like, you know what? Forget about your software, man. I don't need your sponsorship anymore. But anyways, let's move on, man. You said the lock et mask is wrong. Interesting. I'm not too sure if that's a typo or what, but let me move on because I wanted to try to wrap this up real quick. So we need to configure the pat pool, right? So router 2, right? So go to global config mode. Oh, I need to fix domain lookup on router 2. This is, y'all know I barely use this router. IP NAT, and then we want to tie that ACL to that pool. So we're going to say IP NAT inside, right? Source. We're going to do source address translation. We're going to reference that access control list, which was, I believe it was 150? Remember that access control list we created earlier in the stream? That access control list was, there he is right there. We did a show, 165. See, I'm glad I checked that. So now we're gonna do source list 165, just like this right here, right? And then we're gonna specify the name of the pool, which in this case is pool. And then you got to do, what was it? It was pat pool, pat hyphen pool, just like that, right? So now we're tying that access control list to that dynamic, that port address pool that we created. And then overload an IP address translation. Now this, I believe you got to do overload. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I believe we have to do overload. And being that I'm not 100% sure, the other thing I love about this book, I promote this shit like I wrote the damn book, right? There is a solution guide, just like, the little algebra book that you used to have in the 11th grade. The solution is right at the back, right? Well, it's not right at the back, but they're right immediately after the lab. So what we can do is go in the lab and see, okay, well, am I right on this part right here? Or if you want to just jump right into it and work your way backwards, right? That's kind of like what algebra kind of gets you to do. And let me start going on my right here. Let's see here. I think I got to put the overload keyword there. Bruh is correct. Yeah, in the solution, Browning put the wrong mask. Oh, really? Interesting. Let's see. The wildcard mask was for sure correct. Task 8. Do not... Oh, there he goes right there. So I was right. Note, again, do not forget to issue the overload keyword when configuring NAT overload /pat. So yes, I was correct. I did need to use the overload. And this is why I love this book, because just in case I have, I had to second guess myself right there. Y'all know, I don't know everything. And this is kind of like my learning journey. I'm just bringing you guys along with me. So yes, I was correct in using overload. I just wasn't sure. And thank God this book has the answers. So we question mark, and then we'll see, do we need any other stuff? Port map, reversible, blah, blah, blah. Don't look like it. So let's go ahead and press enter, just like that right there. And then what was the next task? Task 8. If you have configured PAT correctly, this should work. The same applies for pings from switch 1 or the FA00 interface of router 2 to router 1. So if switch 1 is able to ping router 1 and it works, whoop, check mark, then we're good to go. And then if you have configured PAT correctly, and so the same applies for the pings from switch 1 or the FA00 interface. So in other words, I believe if we if we change the source address to this, if we do a source address to that, let me check if that's what they do at in the solution guide, because we're pretty much done if that ping works, which I'm pretty sure it does. And they pinged from there to there. Yes, that's what they did. And they telnetted from there to there after that. And all he did after that was just run some show commands. So no, you don't change the source address. They just wanted you to ping and check. And what did I do? You're right. You know what? Does your printed copy have the wrong map? Pete, I apologize. I see in the solution guide. See, I didn't look in the solution guide yet. So Pete S, even though he is correct, there is a how do we say, a typo in the book. So on page, I see it now, Pete. So on top of page 300, he put the subnet mask .240 when it's really supposed to be .248. So yes, correct, Pete. I see what you're talking about. If you'd have said that, if you'd have said page 300 on the top, he put .240. So yes, apologize for Pete. But yes, he was right. He was right. Well, he was right that Paul Brown put the wrong information in there. So let's go ahead and see if we can ping there and call it a night and run some show commands and then call it a night, right? So ping. We're gonna correct the device, right? No, we need to go to switch 1 and do that, right? Switch 1. Are you guys using Packet Tracer or GNS3 or what? Ping 192.168.254.1. Pray to the network gods. Press enter, and we got 5 replies there. Good to go. All right. Oh shoot, I should have done. I did do a show IP translations, right? Remember we did show IP translations and nothing came up. Well, that's show NVI. We did it right there. Show IP NAT translations and nothing came up there, right? And all these statistics were all 0 pretty much. So now that we've done and sent some traffic that way, well, let's go ahead and run those show commands again, because that's what it calls for task number 9, right? So what else we wanted to do? We also wanted to telnet from switch 1 to router 1. So they want us to do the same thing, but now we're sending telnet traffic. T-E-L-net. Right? Does your printed copy? Yes, that's correct. So let's go ahead and telnet now from switch 1. Actually, before we do that, let's show IP NAT translations real quick. And there's our translation, right? And then statistics, show IP NAT statistics, and we'll dissect that stuff, right? Statistics. Boom. All right, so let's take a look at the translations first. And then we'll do the other one. Come on, man. Come on, Vlad. Translations. Oh, it expired. It expired. Let's take a look at it here. That's where it was. We said the inside globe. Remember, this stuff used to confuse me, and I'm going to explain it to y'all again, just so, because like I said, I go back and watch these streams, so I'm explaining it not to just you guys. I'm explaining it to myself in my car when I'm watching this stuff. So the inside global address, right? Who is inside global? Anything from here. Anything from this side of the network. No, my bad. I'm sorry. Global. When we say G global, it's the outside in the wide area network. This is the wide area network, right? This is the internet right here. So the IG global says here 254.4. Oh yes, that's right. So IG inside global address, right? It's 254.4.4. You might be asking yourself, why is it 254.4 when he's exiting out of this interface? right? When the interface is actually 254.2. Well, guess what? We're pulling an IP address from the dynamic pool, or from the pool that we created, which was the PAT pool, right? Remember that PAT pool? We only had one IP address in it, right? I'll show y'all right here. 192.168.254.4. That was the starting and that was the ending. So when he pulls an IP address from in there, there's only one IP address in it, and then he goes outside the interface. That is why the inside global address is 254.4. That makes sense? Why do the translations expire so quickly? That's a good question. Just in case somebody else needs that port number, who knows? I don't know if you can change the timing for those. I haven't gotten really that deep into natting. Remember I said this is kind of more of a refresher. This is the first time I really got really deep into natting. Even like back when I was really studying for the CCNA and stuff like that, I didn't really get that deep into it. I just remember the main concepts and stuff like that. There wasn't too much configuring and stuff like that. I don't remember that many NAT questions that I got on the exam. Back then, you had the ICD-1 and ICD-2, but that's a good question, man. Let's do this. So, what else? Let me finish breaking this down first, and then we'll go back to the expiration question. We did the translation. So that was the inside global address, right? I explained that part, right? So he's only going to pull from that address, and then notice there's a 0 there. So he's using, I guess, port 0 when he's exiting, right? Let me verify that's what they had. They actually had some actual port numbers, though. That's crazy. Inside, NAT, source, list, and then the pool, PAT pool, and then we did overload. So yes, I did do all of that correctly. We got an inside local address. So inside, remember, this is the outside is local, right? I mean, yeah, this is inside global. Outside is local. See how contradictory that sounds, right? Oxymoronic, right? So inside local. Where's inside local? Inside local was anything in here. So inside and it's local. So anything in here. So in this case, 10.224. We only have one host back here, and that's this guy here, the switch. We had another device. Maybe if he's 10.2.2.5, then that would be his inside local address with the port number affixed to it. Remember, the IP address and the port number put together is a socket. So that's his socket, pretty much. Right? So outside local, right? Where's that? It's out here. Out in the wide area network, right? So the outside local, right? So this is going to be remember, essentially, he has pretty much a local area network as well. So this is his local area network. We're sitting over here. I mean, I know all of this stuff, this equipment is right in my house, but y'all know what I'm trying to say here. This is his local area network, right? That's why we said all of that stuff in there. What am I doing here? This is his local area network, right? So we're saying, where is the, we were looking for outside local. Well, since this is the outside part, right? This is his outside local. So anything that's got any kind of hosts or servers in here, that's going to be the outside local. And then finally, outside global. This is the outside router or outside, device we're trying to get to. Their outside global address out in the wide area network. I'll draw a little cloud for y'all. The outside global address is right here. OG. That's the outside global. That interface right there. Right? But notice, right there, so 254.1. And notice that they're the same. Outside global along with the outside local. He might have another one in here. If they allowed us to translate that address, we would be able to see what it is. And then we'd have a different outside local address. But 9 times out of 10, I believe they're going to be the same. So, if I'm not mistaken. So, and that's why they put them both the same. We don't know what the other guy's outside local address is. We don't know his local area network address. We're pretty much going to know this right here because this is public. This is a public address. That's why it's global. Right? That make any sense? Okay, so anybody got any questions so far? I think we pretty much wrapped it up. If you were just tuning in and realized, damn, this man finished quickly. Well, guess what? I did tasks 1 through 5 off stream just to make these labs a little bit quicker, and it is the basic homework, tedious stuff, right? The configuring IP addresses, configuring VLANs, changing host names, all that stuff. That's gonna cut these live streams short. Y'all know I'm tired of going over an hour and a half. I remember one time, I think it was a Sunday because I ain't had shit to do, and I streamed for like 3 hours just because, right? Just talking shit, and I was drinking and stuff like that, and just what was it? We were doing an HSRP lab and stuff like that. But there's a lot of the tedious stuff that we're going to be doing over and over and over again. I'm going to leave that stuff, do that stuff off stream, and then leave the nitty gritty to on the live stream. So in case you guys want to follow along and want to know, oh, how do I do that part, or how come he skipped that part, and you want to know, this will be your pretty much your spoiler alert. Well, not necessarily spoiler alert, but the secret of guide. I don't know. This is the lab guide we use. 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You can get a copy of this from 101labs.net. There's a link in the description box below if you want to get a copy of it through Amazon or anything, and it is an affiliate link, so I do get commission, and it does help out my channel, stuff like that. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. That's why I love this book, because it's just like driving a car. I use the same analogy over and over again, right? You can read all the theory you want on how to drive a car, right? No, you got to do a 3-point turn. You know, here's the stop sign. Here's this sign. You know, when you got to make a left, you got to do this, blah, 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 right? But it's not until you get behind the wheel that you actually learn how to drive a damn car, right? This book right here puts us behind the wheel and tests all of that theory that we just read from them boring ass, dry ass guides, right? But anyways, what was the last task? Task number 9 was to just run some show commands. Oh yeah, let me answer. What was your question? The translations. Why do they expire so quickly? Like we said, sometimes we might have more hosts. I think it's kind of like a way of reserving it, right? Let's say we had a socket of 254.4 and then number 254.4 and then the port number, I don't know, 8560, right? And the next host that comes out of the exiting interface, he gets the same IP address, right? 254.4, and he gets 8561. Right, so on and so forth. 64, 65, 66. We could hold those on for a little bit, right? But we reserve. I think you can only get to about what? There's 65,000. You can pretty much use theoretically, right? But the best way to reserve those IP addresses, because you could have so much traffic going out of your interface, right? So the best thing to do is to expire them, so that way somebody could use 8561 again, 8562 again, etc., right? So it's basically a way to kind of recycle. Because remember, when we're exiting, we will have a unique address. We'll have 254.4 and the port number 8560. But if we want to use it again, we need that to expire. And if you have a large organization with a lot of streaming and a lot of traffic exiting out of that interface, the best way to be able to use that socket again is to make them expire. That's my theory on why they expire so quickly. So, you said good explanation. I appreciate that, man. I believe that. I mean, to me, when I see that question, that's a good question, because I was like, why did they expire so damn quickly? Because I remember, matter of fact, we could watch this expire when we do a debug, right? So I'm on router 2, right? If we do show IP NAT translations, it's going to be gone, right? See, it's gone now. So that socket we created is gone. Let's go ahead and give it another. Let's try it. Let's try to create another socket. Did I actually save that? You damn it. Damn it, the hell. Bobby. That topology. So let's do this. All right. Yeah, it makes sense. So let's do this. We're gonna have switch 1 ping again. Oops. Go back to my brush. Boop. We're gonna have him ping again, and then we'll actually have him telnet again too. Actually, I didn't even pick telnet yet, right? We'll have him ping first and get a translation, right? So switch 1, ping router 1, ping 192.168. Helps if I type it correctly. 192.168.254.1. We got a reply. Good to go, right? Now let's do show IP NAT from this guy. Remember, there was nothing there. Nothing in our translation table. They call that the translation table. We do show IP NAT translations. Boom. Now he got a port number of 1. You see what I'm saying? They recycle the port numbers. If we want to use 1 again, we need the first one to expire, and so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Let's try that again. See, if we had another host, it would make sense to actually see it. But let's do this. Let's ping. Let's do a telnet this time. So now we're gonna have him going that way, but we're gonna telnet. And notice the translation table too, right? At the beginning, this is actually short for protocol. We use a protocol ICMP, right? ICMP is what? Ping. So now let's see switch 1 telnet, right? Actually, we can do it this way, right? No, let me do that. Let me not do that. Ping. No telnet. 192.168.254.1. So now we're telnetting. We've got prompted for the password, which was all caps Cisco. Boom, now we're in, right? So now we're in using this telnet, right? So now we telnetted to router 1, right? Now let's go back to router 2 and do the translations again. Boom. So now we got TCP traffic. What kind of TCP traffic we got? Telnet. And what port number he used? This long ass ephemeral port. They call it ephemeral port number. Basically, it's a random IP address when you exiting out, right? But when he came back, he used Telnet. See that? Port number 23. So when he came back out this way and gave the traffic, they said, oh, okay. So the outside local address is 254.1, port number 23. So this is the socket coming back. Same thing here. So this is the outside local right there, and then outside global right here, right? And then if we did it again, see if I would have to have another host so you could see that, right? But actually, no, you can see it with the debug. So let me do a debug real quick, and then y'all see what I'm talking about when it expires and stuff, because we want to recycle that, use that port number again. And this is another reason why we were able to use IPv4 for so long. I remember I was first studying this stuff. I say 2000 and about, actually like 2012 was when I got my Network Plus. Remember the CompTIA certification, right? And I remember they were talking about, oh, you know, IPv4 is going to be, or IPv6 is going to be implemented. We're running out of IP addresses, blah, blah, blah. They even gave us a date, like it was Y2K. Like we was going to run out of IP addresses and shit. Like the place was going to blow up or something like that. And I used to wonder, I remember there was a little timer. You used to go online. I forgot the name of the website was, but you could see when we were going to actually have a shortage of IPv4 addresses and stuff like that. Well, the reason why we're still able to keep using IPv4 for so long was because of things like network address translation and port address translation. We're using a unique IP address with a unique port number, and then we're expiring them and then reusing them again. So that's how come we were able to prolong it. Not many people are still using IPv6 yet, but that's the reason why. So what was I doing, man? Talking too much shit. Debug. Let's do a debug this time, right? Debug Ip Nat. So now we could actually see the debugging, right? And let's go ahead and let's put this in another window. Can you do that? I thought there was a way. Yeah, there it is, right there. So okay, so watch this. Now, when we do it, we're gonna see it in real time. What happens when we ping? Oops. Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. So now we're gonna have him ping again, and then we're gonna see the expiration of when it expires, right? And y'all know why, so that we recycle and use another port or use another socket, right? So ping, we said 192.168.254.1. Boom, we got some traffic right there, right? So what was the, we don't really need to look at him that much, right? So we said the source was 10224. Who's that? That's this guy right here. He is the source, right? That's where it came from, right? Source. And then when we exited out of the interface, that's what that right there is. So it says this IP address translates to 254.4, right? So he comes out of here. It's just like yesterday, right? He comes out of here, 254.4, not .2, right? It's .4 because that was the network address pool that we created. That's why you got a .4 address. Destination is what? 192.168.254.4. And keep an eye on this. That's the translation, right? So now when we leave, we know that address, this address maps to this address, right? Keep an eye on this debugging table though, right? That's the time, 13:25, right? Like I said, I don't know the how long it take and stuff like that. There it goes right there. Boom. Expired. See that? Expiring 254.4. This. What kind of packet? Ping. This too. I don't know what the hell it mean. And I'm not gonna make pretend I know, but that's basically what happened there. So it said, you've had that address translation for a long time here. You haven't been doing any traffic. This guy NetworkBruh just keeps lecturing, and you just holding on to this address. I'm gonna go ahead and take it back from you and give it to somebody else. And that's what it is. That's what it's about, man. I hate IPv6. It's my weakest areas for CCNA. And listen, them long ass IP addresses be confusing me too and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty much it. They said we didn't look at translations. I mean, we looked at translations. We didn't look at statistics. Let's look at the statistics, which is probably going to be blanked out. No, it won't. So IP Nat statistics, but you get the expiring question though, right? That's a really good question, Pete, because now that I explained it and now I understand. Okay, that's why they expire and why they expire so quickly. show IP NAT statistics. We got 65 hits. So that's basically like, okay, so we got this demarcation point right here. Every time you pass this line right here, we got a hit. That's basically what happened. We got a hit right there. So they counted it 65 times. And I believe they coming back too. So when we got traffic coming back, we got a couple hits too. Translations. So we got inbound translation and outbound translation. Here's our pool information, and here's our. I'm all over the damn place. Here's the access control list. It's tied to Pat Pool, and that was the subnet mask, the one that we said that we was trying to debate on whether Paul Browning wrote it correctly or not. The IP address, we're just using one IP address when we're exiting out of this interface. So that, again, and this is why we was been able to use IPv4 for so long. We're only using one IP address, but theoretically we could have like 65,000 IP addresses because we're creating sockets. So we created 192. So when somebody leaves out of this interface right here, he gets the IP address of 192.168.254.4 with a port number affixed to it, leaves out of that interface, and it's a unique port number, right? And then the next guy who leaves out of that interface, he gets that same IP address with another port number. And theoretically, you could have like 65,000, and when they expire, we recycle them. That's pretty much it. So, what we got here? One address. We've allocated none so far because it expired. So watch what happens when we do it again. Let's ping again, right? We got some debugs right here, right? So we had one allocated, right? Or none allocated right here because it expired. There's only one address. Now, if we do show IP statistics, one allocated. See that? If I had another device like plugged up, like a PC or something like that, we would have had, yeah, we would still have one allocated again, and it will still be 100%. So what happens if we, let me try that again. I'm going to ping again. No, I'm going to telnet this time. Let me telnet this time. Telnet 192.168.254.1. Boom. We telnetted. We should get some traffic here. Boom. Right? You see that? So now we got telnet and whatchamacallit traffic. Oh, see, I pressed enter and got the wrong password again. More traffic came through. Show IP NAT statistics, and yeah, there's still one number because it's the same device, pretty much. So now if we do translation, see, oh, it is the same device, but he got different type of traffic. It's still unique traffic. See that the ping was .3, and then now that one expired. 3. Also, that's what this is. This is the port number. That's the port number. And we should get another one. Once this other one expires, I'm going to let y'all go. Next time you guys want to follow along, get a copy of this book. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA. Get a copy of this from 101labs.net. Or there's a link in the description box below. What else I wanted to say? Something about the book. Can't even remember. Oh, next lab is lab number 67. DNS, right? Domain name services. Basically a way to translate host names to IP addresses, right? Let's wait till that expiration comes. I think it should expire. There it goes right there. See? And that was that last number, 172.172.60. So he got the IP address. His telnet traffic was 192.168, blah, 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 with that port number attached to it. That was the inside local. That's his inside local address. And coming back, his outside global, when he leaves out of that interface, he used port number 323 to exit. I wonder why they don't use port 23 when he does. That's just his port number. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. If y'all like what y'all see, y'all want me with that like button, leave a comment down below. Join the Discord server in case you guys, want a little bit more information. Here is a copy of the invite. Go ahead and join that Discord server. Yeah, if y'all would have been on that Discord server, y'all would have seen. I would have I'm skipping tasks 1 through 5 today, and we're going straight to port address translation. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe to the network.